Hello, friends. We're back again. It's Joel Pearl, Fightful.com. I'm here with the GCW World Champion, Masha Slamovich. Masha, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing good since I am also still champion. If you watched On Your Worst Behavior, GCW on Fight Plus, right? Fight Plus, there we go.
That's right. Yeah, we're live. We're in Toronto. Masha just defended against Mike Speedball Bailey. Where can we talk about that finish real quick? How does the man wind up under the ring, and how do you wind up winning that match? That was wild.
By any means necessary would be the answer for this match and every other match going forward. Perhaps even every other match ever, right? I mean, you guys have seen the kind of things I get up to out here in GCW. So the finish came about after Speedball decided to play in my element and strip the ring apart, and clearly that did not pay off for him. So.
Clearly not, but what did pay off was your big win of the GCW World Championship this past, what was that, on Friday night in New York City, in your adopted town
Adopted hometown, right? That's
what we'll call it that. With your family, with your friends there, with your partner there, you won the GCW World Championship. Walk me through the moment. I think everyone saw your promo afterwards where you had so much emotion. Tell me about everything that went through your head.
I mean, it's really like a picture-perfect movie ending. You know, so many people can dream of these things. I personally could never even imagine it being that way. I remember so many times I'm like, hey, Nick, like, we should wrestle. I'd love to wrestle you. And I could have never imagined that it would be such a perfect full circle moment in so many ways. You know, having my mom and dad there, like, all of my friends were there. Akira was there, obviously, coming in for the saves. It really was just the perfect night in wrestling, and just the fruition of hard years of work and validation for everything that I've done, really.
You've had a GCW World Championship presented to you by Nick Gage after you defeated him. Recently at West Coast Pro, you won their Women's Championship, and Lita came into the ring and presented you with that championship. I think that's a whole other can of worms. Let's open it up. What were you feeling? You won that championship, the first time champion at West Coast Pro in the women's division. What was the feeling like when you had Lita present you with that title?
It was, absolutely something that I never imagined. I watched Lita growing up, and I thought she was like one of the coolest divas in WWE. So I never thought that she would be presenting me with a belt, and especially at West Coast Pro after having put in, like a year and a half of work in a company that, much like GCW, I'm very committed to, and I'm very proud of what we do there, not just me. I think everybody else at West Coast Pro works really, really hard. And another moment that was just pretty surreal, pretty incredible, and I just got to say the match with Sandra Moon, I thoroughly enjoyed and look forward to a rematch.
Wonderful. And we watch you on Impact Wrestling every Thursday. Myself and Cresta Star, we do our post show, and we see a different Masha Slamovich. We see one who is just as intense, but also speaks little to no English. Talk to me about not only the character difference between Masha on Impact and Masha, say, in GCW or West Coast Pro, just on the indies in general. What's beneficial about those who are seeing you in Impact versus maybe someone who's seeing you in a GCW ring?
Well, I think I would say to anybody who watches any of my work in general, I think it's something that you either pick the one thing that you like, and then you stick with that, or you can mix into one of the many styles that I do. GCW, Bloodsport, Impact. It's a different side of Masha, but it's all the same because it's still just me. And I feel like at GCW I can be the most unrestrained and true to myself, if I can say anything about that.
Finally, this is the big one. Johnny Gargano was once asked the question, where's the weirdest place you've ever wrestled a match? His answer was a prison yard. So Masha Slamovich, where's the weirdest place you've ever wrestled a match?
God damn, I don't think I can beat a prison yard. There's been several. I've wrestled at a nursing home in Japan. That was quite interesting, as the median age there was above 100 in the audience. I also wrestled in a cornfield twice, specifically the one time where the farm animals outnumbered the fans in attendance, because the fans in attendance were only one family, and Uncle Bob was cooking fucking burgers over here while me and Rhino were changing it in like their motorcycle garage. Real wild stuff. Definitely got to say those are probably two of the top weirdest places I've wrestled.
You've got plenty coming up over WrestleMania weekend. I want to give you a minute to plug what you've got, and also just whatever you want. The floor is yours to plug.
So, big week coming up, WrestleMania. But before that, actually, I will remain here in Canada until the Impact tapings next week on the 24th and the 25th in Windsor. So please come down and watch some Impact Wrestling. The day after that, you can see me in New Jersey, returning to Asbury Park for Wrestling Prestige, facing another Impact knockout, Killer Kelly.
Oh, wonderful.
And of course, this all runs into Mania Week, which is coming quite shortly after that, where my first match will be at Pandemonium Pro against Johnny Hollywood, as others may know him as John Morrison, which will then be followed by the Prestige match against Aja Kong, which is much spoken about. And then there's a surprise match that has not been announced yet. So please keep your eyes on all of the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Masha Slamovich for all of the latest news.
You know, I was really tempted to ask you to put it so we could put this behind the paywall what that match is, but we won't. We'll let Masha and whoever it is tell you when the time is near. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you again, Masha, for your time.
NordVPN.com/Fightful makes my browsing experience better. Way better than yours if you don't use it. Why? Because I can block online trackers. I can block annoying pop-up ads and malware. I can browse safely, securely, wherever I am, even if I'm right here on all my devices. This laptop, actually this is a desktop. What am I saying? But this laptop right here, this phone right here, that router over there, the TV over there, all with NordVPN.com/Fightful. You can also save on pay-per-views. Maybe you want to check out AEW without commercials. Maybe you miss the old WWE Network. Maybe you want to buy a big UFC pay-per-view with an overseas service at a much more affordable rate. NordVPN.com/Fightful not only has you covered, but when you get one of their plans, you're effectively going to save yourself money. And I'm going to save you some more. 4 months free on top of that deal and a 30-day money-back guarantee. NordVPN.com/Fightful.